Yes, hello, welcome to the channel. It's been a while actually for our last recording. The last recorded actually was last year, and yeah, life and work has been really skeptical. You couldn't know exactly when you can find the time to do this, but now I'm glad I do. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy James, and I have a lot that I would like to share with you right now. So many friends of mine have been having thoughts of 2021 would like to, you know, come over and, see whatever. And they have to see what they can do, find jobs and whatever. But I must say, it's literally all the same, whatever in all the world. The only difference is that you gotta do what is right for you to find exactly that what you need. And this is where I come in and like to share so many likes again. Hey, what does it mean to come, coming to the GCC, to golf, whatever. This is what you gotta do. Well, I just want to say happy new year, and to those that have had 2020 as a very difficult year, I just want to say yes, it's been difficult, and I just want to say, hey, come on, let's keep positive. Let's see what happens in 2021. Anyway, now, there's so many guys that actually just, out of the blue, just plan and you're just like, yeah, I want to go to the overseas. Yeah. I'm not specifically talking about Dubai, but I'm talking about actually overseas. 10 things you gotta do to find a job. Right. One, you gotta prepare yourself. Two, you gotta research. Period. You gotta plan. That's one. The third and the fourth, you gotta have your resume updated. The fifth, you gotta be determined. Six, you have to know the culture. Seven, the system. Eight, the transport. Nine, accommodation. And 10, you gotta be patient. These are the 10 most things you gotta do for you to find a job. Bye. Okay, fine. Let's start with the first one. How do you prepare yourself? What do I mean by preparing yourself? This is what I mean, To prepare yourself is basically, it comes more into your mindset, before you fly out and say, hey, you gotta find something to do. You gotta know that staying away, most especially if you're not being away from home, or family, friends, whatever, staying away, go overseas and you're alone is really a stepping stone, man. You gotta know that so many things that come out of that good or bad, but mentally you gotta set yourself free, like, where I'm going, I shouldn't get homesick. Prepare yourself to say goodbye to your family and know, hey, it is time to hunt. I'm going out there to see what I can do and do whatever. It's really, it sounds like, it's just something that you can walk over, but trust me, if you've never done that and you go overseas, being homesick is the craziest thing you can do, because you can never, because it's all within there in the heart, man. You're just like, God damn, miss my mom, miss my kids, miss my wife, whatever, man, that you feel you're attached to back home. You gotta find a way of detaching yourself. If you don't do that, it's gonna be crazy. Period. Well, the second thing is research. Yeah, you can't try my going to, it is Dubai, for example. I'm giving you an example because I've had experience there. So, Dubai. Do research about the country, like period. Everything. Just have touch points. Have the touch points. What is Dubai? Where is it located? The currency, the political status, the kind of people that are there, the kind of jobs. Just briefly brush through and see exactly what kind of country you're moving into, and the jobs, most especially. Why are you going to Dubai? Going to look for a job, yes. What kind of job? Research about it. Go to different websites and look at yourself. Am I competitive compared to? Because Dubai is a first world country compared. I would say that it's really competitive. When you come here, it means no business. Some people think, yeah, this is Asia, no, whatever. No, Dubai, the way we used to be in 2011, it's never that. Price is long. The way the place has been in 2011, man, it's different. Now the place is pretty amazing. It's competitive thanks to Mumbai and the government. You guys have really made it. You really made it, and trust me, if you got all that you need, man, this place can be your home. You can do whatever that you want. So you gotta really do research about that. You see, so you know you plan and you're like, okay, last job, let's say I'm going to do whatever, engineering, architecture, by the way, doctorate, whatever, customer service, whatever. It depends. It doesn't matter, man, because all opportunities are available. So you gotta do that. You got to do that. Don't just get money and coming in. You will get messed up. I'm telling you, you will get messed up. Alright? So after planning all that, you gotta find out like, okay, who am I gonna meet there? Who's gonna walk me through? Okay. So there's so many things. After you finding out actually, okay, this is my plan. I'm gonna find this job and this is what I'm gonna do. Alright, you gotta do that. And now when it comes to after all is done, remember the fourth is that you gotta have your resume updated. Don't bring your wacky kind of resume. You think you're just gonna do whatever, just drop it up. You know what happens here? The resume actually does 70%. If I was the HR and I'm looking for the best, the thousands of resumes that come to my email, and if I just have split seconds just looking at your resume. If your resume is really sucked up, I'll just go through you, and trust me, I'll never have a chance to have you back. I don't have the time to go through all that crappy, stuff. These days, people, even if it's you and you got a lot, about 200 resumes to go through, I won't really go through all the details. The presentation of your resume, I'll do a vlog about that some other time. How you can do a very good resume that can help do much wonders. So 70% does all that on your resume, and when it comes to the appointments, the interview, this is when you just have to find out, okay, this guy is this worth. I think we can give you a chance. Do your best on your resume. Find help, whatever. But if try to ask somebody, how do you find your resume? What do you think? You gotta do that. It's pretty important. Now, once you're done with your resume, all right, the fifth thing is that you gotta be determined. Whatever you've done with your resume, you gotta be determined that, hey, I'm going there, I'm gonna make it. Don't try to have this, let me go try. No, get determined and say, I am moving to this place and I gotta make it, no matter what. You gotta make sure that happens. Once you're determined, then now, okay, fine. Know the culture, like what kind of people am I gonna live with? Because this is over thousands of cultures here. There's a time, man, that I just arrived in Dubai. Just going to the WCs, and it was towards prayer time. In the bathroom, first time, you in your culture, Then there's some guys, the way they behave in the WCs, you're like, what? Man, it was crazy, You felt like, there's some cultures over here that speak like whatever they want, so sometimes that disgusts you. You have to learn that the culture here, this is an Islamic state, and you gotta be careful with the feminine, to prioritize them. There's so many things that they do. Don't come here and bring your own crappy, I'm not saying crappy, I'm just using the word, but your own way, and you're like, yeah, man, this is how I live, this is how I'm gonna live, I gotta do that. You get messed up, you get jacked up big time, man. You gotta know that when I'm here, this is how these guys behave, and I gotta do that. So the culture is really, really important. So when you get here, respect everybody, obey the law. This is the culture here, man. Do not, they do. Go for that, and you'll be fine. Alright? Now, we have come to the seventh, which is the system. Here, if you're trying to apply for jobs, most especially things are done online, you gotta know when I'm coming in here, all the jobs here I applied for are actually online. So you have to know how the system works, alright? How you apply for jobs online and whatever. How do you double check, go and recheck and reopen up, check how do you get feedback that, okay, my my email. This is how I get feedback, and after having an interview, how do I follow up? Onto this. You gotta find that out actually. So it's pretty important that you know that. Now, well, when you've done all that and now you've already arrived here and all this is happening, now it comes to the transport system. All right, how you gonna move around here, find jobs left and right. All right. I must say you gotta do 60% online. Spend most of your time online because it's the way things work. Then the other, 40%, you gotta move around, trying to see, have some CVs in the bag and just come knocking around, be very social, smile all the time. You gotta smile all the time, ask around like, yo, so you got the malls or whatever, offices, try to have, the way this works, but you gotta know how the transport works. Now here we've got the Metro line. The Metro line, which is the cheapest transport system here. We buy an old card of different denominations and you're gonna recharge it and you can move around depending on whatever. So that's how it works. So we also got, the taxes here, Abu Dhabi works different from Dubai, as in the fares, as well. Dubai, Fujairah, the number of Emirates. So you gotta know how much it costs. Taxes are ridiculously expensive. You gotta know how you do that. Unfortunately, the no card does not work in the taxis. Taxi you pay by credit card or cash, so that's how it works. But in the Metro line, it's the no card. Actually, no card works in the buses as well. You just recharge. You've got the regular, and the gold. So the gold is the premium, where you pay double as the regular. So in case you wanna do Metro, you can do that. You gotta plan your way because the Metro travels on the lines. It's what we call the green zone and the red zone. You get to know these things when you get there. You gotta find the way. You drop off points and pick up points. Okay, I'm moving to this place. If you wanna save money, you can take a Metro to some place. Then you find a way out, and you're like, okay, I gotta take a taxi to this place. Then way back. This is how it works. You gotta do that. So that's how the transport system works. Sometimes the private chauffeurs, you can do that. The Ubers as well around, you can do that as well. But it depends. Is it worth it? If you're late, that's when you can do that. But if not, man, take your time, man. Don't wake up before the time. Take your transport to your interview and see whatever that happens. Now all these things, where you travel left and right, that's how it works. Now there's accommodation, which is actually one of the points. And the ninth thing is accommodation. Accommodation in the UAE is freaking expensive. I think it's the most expensive in the world, man. Damn, if you're not really careful, you can blow a lot of money, man. You can blow a lot of money in this place if you're really, really not. So you gotta do the one thing is that have a budget, They're pretty nice places here you can go to. We have 7 stars, 5 stars, whatever class that you want, you will find it here. But now this is the time for you, earning. Remember, you spending. You're coming here to find a job, and you gotta, So you gotta be very, very careful when you're doing this. So if it comes to point whereby, you're under budget, you gotta be very careful. There's some places will have bed spaces here, ridiculous places. If you, I'll try to show you how these places look like. You got the bed spaces that will cost you about like between $150 to actually $250. I think around like that. Bed spaces, these are small. You rent a bed. It's a room of about 6 or 5. You can go in there. The guy's living on there. You just share a bed and whatever utilities that happen. Gas, power, internet, whatever, and you cook your own food, by the way. So that's how it works. Then you can have what you call, you've got hotels if you want to. You can check online, Air, BTB, you can find out how much hotel costs. The prices before. I can't really tell you now, but you can check that out. But what is more important to tell you, it's really expensive. Some of the places, some websites you have to go through to find what kind of accommodation you go through. I'll link all that. So, yeah, so some accommodations actually you can do after you've done the bed spaces. The hotels you can go to, you can check it out. I'll put all the information later on next video how you can find cheap accommodations in there. So it's pretty expensive. You gotta be careful with that. Now, the most important thing, which is the 10th, you got to be patient. This place, you find so many people. If you're really not really focused, there's so many people that put you off track. Someone will tell you, no man, when I came in, man, that's peanut, man. Now I'm earning about $2,000, I'm earning about $1,000, whatever. Maybe someone's gonna pay you just $350 because you can find really low earning jobs, man. You're earning about $300, $250. It depends. You gotta be careful. There's some people just coming in like, oh, wait, as long as I get a visa, no. It's crazy, now like me, I'm Ugandan, so when you're coming from Uganda, situation is bad, like what is happening, ridiculously. So many people really spend a lot of money in education and they end up on the street, and you're frustrated, you get a lot to do. When you come back here, you're like, okay, fine, I gotta do what I gotta do, man. But sometimes, it's the right decision to make, as long as you got a sponsor and they can do whatever that you want. Just be patient, you will find him there. I just want to share one more thing, is that here, for you to earn more, it takes time. It takes time. Even the employers will ask you how many years of experience have you got in the place. They don't mean actually your working experience. Your experience over time here. Because trust me, someone who's been here for a long time, there's some things that you learn by default. But hey, when someone does this, I gotta be patient. Sometimes you can be really actually more sensible than your supervisor. Not in a sense that your supervisor is a daft guy, but sometimes there are points whereby you feel, man, you're humiliated and all that, whatever. But it takes patience for you to let that go. You're like, no. This is Yani, this is too much now. So you gotta be patient. Sometimes you'll be pissed off and you feel you wanna throw back arms, but trust me, it's not worth it. So it really takes time for you to do that. No, I just wanna say that patience is very important. Just take your time. And the labor laws as well. Okay, after 6 months now, before it was 3 months, now after 6 months of the probation period, you're entitled to find a job somewhere else. Just keep trying. Make sure that the first visa of yours is for you to stabilize, to know how the places work. Don't come in here and you want to run through. Life doesn't work that way, right? So it's pretty tough. So yes, those are the 10 things you gotta do how to find a job in Dubai. So I hope you like the video. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in another one. Cheers.